Right now, a few people have been asking me about the witnesses pulling out of the murder case with Cdais and Rondo. Now, we got kind of an interesting situation going on here. With Cook County prosecutors have struggled for months to get these witnesses to show up for the murder trial. But with a speedy trial deadline looming, they're questioning now whether a judge overstepped her authority by holding a female witness without bail, even before the women would agree to appear in court. Now, this was what an Illinois appellate court took up on Thursday as a question, just one day before the jury selection was scheduled to begin at the trial of Clint Macy and Courtney Ely. Those are Cdais and Rondo in connection with the 2014 slaying of Javon Boyd. Now, recalcitrant witnesses, that's a common issue in gang killings. They've been a problem ever since. Now, one alleged witness, who's also a rapper, allegedly tore up a subpoena when investigators finally found him before fleeing to Atlanta days later. Now, I assume that they're talking about Tay. Now, at an emergency oral argument Thursday, a prosecutor told appellate court judges that they had tried to locate witness Caprice Johns more than 24 times since 2014 without success. She was eventually arrested on February 9th on an unrelated traffic warrant in a Southside home. Now, Johns was in one of the 3 vehicles that Macy, Ely, and others rode on the night of the killing. Now, after the slaying, she allegedly returned to the bloodstained cab in the 3700 block of South Princeton with Cdais and another witness after Cdais realized that he had dropped his cell phone. Okay. So this chick had apparently gone back with Cdais to the murder scene after Cdais had realized that he had left his cell phone at the scene. Now, her assistant public defender told the appeals court that her name is Johns, who's homeless, had already gone out of her way to help authorities, giving a video statement to police and then testifying in front of a grand jury. There was no sign she wouldn't appear in court. Now, the would-be witnesses are typically jailed only after ignoring a subpoena and failing to appear in court. Now, I assume this is what's happened with Tay 600. You guys have just gotten the news that Tay 600, has been locked up for apparently refusing to cooperate with the investigators and give witness about the murder. Now, there had been an allegation that Tay was snitching earlier. Cdais and all of them were, putting this stuff out there. Like I told you guys, man, I try to tell y'all again and again, man, I did not think that Tay was snitching. Or if I thought that the possibility was out there, I did not think that it was a big enough possibility to say anything definite about it, in my video on Tay. Now, this homeless woman, who apparently is this other witness in this case, her pending traffic case was disposed on February 10th, but she remained in jail on a no bail warrant for attempted fraud charge out of Lake County in Indiana. But after no one from Lake County picked her up, prosecutors asked Judge Diane Cannon on February 18th to hold Johns without bail as material witness to the slaying. Now, at the hearing on Thursday, Assistant State's Attorney Eric Leafblad conceded that the judge was first supposed to give Johns the chance to sign an agreement that she would appear in court, but instead, Cannon immediately ordered her held without bail, even though she acknowledged Johns would likely appear for the trial if freed. Now, the judge is saying, I believe you would show up, but I don't want Indiana to take you, and we might not see you until after your court date. Okay, so for those of you guys who aren't really following what's going on here, the judge had this key witness in the trial of Cdais and Rondo, this chick that had apparently been in the car and had gone back with Cdais to get his cell phone. She had been busted for some other stuff, but it was in an Indiana county, not in Cook County, which is Chicago. And this judge in Cook County was afraid that Indiana was going to take her and put her in a cell over there so that she wouldn't be able to testify about Cdais and Rondo. Now, they were saying that the appeals court, that Cannon had acted without legal authority in holding someone without bail, even though they had done nothing wrong, and Johns wasn't served with a subpoena to testify until she was already in jail. So this judge that wanted her testimony in Cdais and Rondo's trial was holding her without bail, without giving her a chance to basically say, okay, I'll show up and be a witness at the trial, because what she was afraid was going to happen was that she was going to let her out, saying, okay, you come back to this court date and testify, and while she was out, she was afraid that the Indiana cops were going to get her and take her to jail in Indiana. Okay, now, to agree with the state's position that a bond can be set on someone who hasn't done anything wrong is just an overreach of the state's power. This is according to a public defender, I assume. Now, to make matters worse for this lady, whose last name is Johns, another judge later held her in contempt of court for saying something that as she was led from the courtroom. Now, so apparently she made some smart remark. So the judge was making her, stay over there in the cell over there. Now, Colucci told the appellate court that he didn't hear what Johns said, but that his client's frustration got the best of her after being locked up since February 9th. Time to keep that mouth shut for everybody, man. It's always better to say nothing. Now, even if things were done out of order by Cannon, Leafblad said, the result would have been the same because Johns' court-appointed lawyer would have advised her not to sign the agreement to appear for the trial. He also noted the public defender's office also represents Cdais, who will benefit if Johns does not testify. Now, Macy's attorney, Rondo's attorney, David Hill, said in a phone interview that his client has been demanding trial for more than 4 months and noted the extraordinary efforts prosecutors were making to secure witnesses for the trial. Now, since December, Macy's Twitter account has boasted of his imminent release, tweeting, "I'm going to be home before summer." Last month, he predicted he'd be on tour soon. Obviously, that hasn't happened. So we have kind of an interesting saga going on. Tay 600 is now locked up, and he is being held without bail on a charge of criminal contempt. Now, apparently, I'm assuming that what's going on here is that Tay is refusing to give his testimony about Cdais and Rondo. That's just my assumption, okay? They're holding him without bail on this contempt charge. They're trying to get people to testify against Cdais and Rondo, and they can't get anybody to testify. However, this woman looks like a promising witness, but they're afraid that if they let her go, Indiana's going to get her. Not only that, but this same lawyer who's representing her is also representing Cdais. So why would her lawyer say that she should testify against Cdais if he's trying to get Cdais off for the murder? They're keeping Tay without bail. Tay's a key witness in this situation because, or at least everybody's thinking that there was some talking going on behind the event. Tay and all of them were probably talking about what went down at some meeting. He probably knows something. However, Tay has proven himself, based on this contempt charge, proven himself not to be a snitch. So, this should exonerate him, if anything. Why would the cops lock him up and charge him with contempt if he's already given them what they want? You know what I'm saying? So that's where it's at right now, man. Tay's locked up. We'll see what goes on from here. It's still an up-in-the-air situation, very much. His court date is set for March 8th. So I'll keep you guys posted, man, as soon as more details become available about this. This is your boy, Chicago News. I'm out.